You're halfway through a sentence, and your phone lights up. You answer it. 9 seconds, maybe 10. Then you go back to the sentence. And the sentence is gone. The document is still open. The words are still there. But whatever you were about to say has lost its shape. So you read the paragraph above it. Then you read the paragraph again. Then you type 4 words, delete them, and sit there looking at the screen. 9 seconds out. 2 minutes to get back in. You did the same thing maybe 40 times today. A message here, a quick check there. Someone asking one small thing at the door. Every single one felt free. And now it's evening. You're tired in a way you can't point at. The list looks almost exactly like it did this morning. You weren't lazy today. You were moving the whole day. The moving is the strange part. So where did the day go? Something is taking your energy, and the thing taking it is not the work. Start with what your brain is actually doing when you think you're doing 2 things at once. You aren't doing 2 things at once. Almost nobody is. What's really happening is flipping. One job, then the other job, then back, fast enough that both of them feel like now. And every flip has a price. Your brain has to put one set of rules away and get a different set out. The rules for writing are not the rules for replying. Swapping the rules takes a moment. The swap has a name: switch cost. Switch cost is small, a fraction of a second, usually. If switch cost were the whole story, 40 flips would cost you under a minute, and your day would add up. Your day does not add up, so switch cost is not the whole story. Here's the part nobody feels. When you leave something unfinished and go somewhere else, a piece of your attention doesn't come with you. The piece stays behind, still working on the thing you left. A researcher named Sophie Leroy gave that leftover attention a name: attention residue. Attention residue is the part of you that stayed at the old task. And attention residue doesn't clear in a second or two. Attention residue sits there, quietly running the unfinished thing in the background, while the front of your mind tries to start something new. So you arrive at the new thing with less of yourself available. Not zero, just less. So the paragraph won't go in. You're reading it with the leftovers. Think about a fridge. Every time you open the door, cold air falls out, and the motor has to work its way back down to temperature. Open the door once, and nothing happens. Open the door every 4 minutes, all day, and the motor never really stops. The bill climbs. The food is never quite as cold as it should be. Nothing dramatic happened to that fridge. Nobody unplugged it. Somebody just kept opening the door. Your attention works the same way. The cost isn't in the opening. The cost is in the cooling back down, over and over, 40 times, while you stand there thinking you only opened the door for 9 seconds. Here's a second example, probably more familiar. You're in a meeting. Someone is talking. You're looking right at them, and you hear every word in order, and at the end, you could not tell anyone what was decided. You weren't on your phone. You were sitting there with a piece of your attention still parked on the email you closed on the way in. The mechanism is identical. You didn't do 2 things. You did one thing badly twice. Now the useful part. The trigger isn't switching. The trigger is switching away from something unfinished. When people get to finish the first task before moving on, they do better on the second one. Your brain lets go of finished things. Unfinished things, it holds on to. And the holding gets stronger when you know you'll have to rush back to it later. Telling yourself you'll come right back doesn't settle the system down. Telling yourself you'll come right back is exactly what keeps the old task running, which makes the most expensive sentence in your day a very ordinary one. Let me just check this quick. The obvious fix is to focus harder. The obvious fix doesn't work, and now you know why. Focus is effort. Attention residue is not an effort problem. You can't pull attention back by straining for it while the attention is parked somewhere else. Straining at the new task while a piece of you works the old one just makes the strain louder. And if the tiredness has been there every day for months and nothing lifts it, the tiredness deserves a real conversation with a professional. The ordinary version is what this is about. So here's what actually helps. Before you switch away from something, Take 30 seconds and write down where you are. Not a to-do list. 3 lines. Where you stopped. What the next move is. What you're choosing to leave for later. 30 seconds. Written down, not thought about. The small act does something specific. Writing hands the unfinished thing back to your brain in a form your brain can put down. The loop stops being open. Less of you stays behind. More of you arrives at the next thing. You'll want to skip the 30 seconds because you're only going away for 9. Skip it, and you pay the 2 minutes on the way back, every time. So, the whole thing in one breath. Your brain runs one job at a time and pays a small fee to switch. The real cost isn't the fee. The real cost is the piece of attention that stays behind on whatever you left unfinished, quietly draining the next thing you do, all day, with no receipt. You are not scattered. You are not bad at focusing. You spent the day handing out fragments of yourself and never getting a bill for any of them. Now you can see the bill. Seeing the bill is how you stop paying it. Try 1 hour of this today. Every time you're about to jump away from something, spend 30 seconds writing down where you stopped. 1 hour. Then put the number in the comments. How many times did you have to do it? The number is usually higher than people expect, and seeing your own number is the part that changes things. And that sentence you were halfway through, the one that vanished when your phone lit up, the sentence never left. You did. 30 seconds of writing, and next time, most of you come back.